Good morning, Mayor Breed, Angie Garling and Liz Winograd from LIF, Ingrid Mesquita, the Mayor's Office of Early Care and Education, Amy Beinart from Supervisor Hillary Ronan's team, Commander Daniel Perea from San Francisco PD, Kevin Ortiz representing Speaker Nancy Pelosi, to the parents, to the board or board members, and a special salute to all our MNC, Mission Neighborhood Centers team members, those who teach here, those who work here, those who take care of the families, support the families, and the rest of our team who are at our various sites around the city. And again, a special shout out to our good friend Santiago Sam Ruiz. It's great to welcome all of you to MNC Mission, which is the name of this site, a state-of-the-art early care and education site. It opened last week for 42 children and families with essential funding that includes nearly $3 million each from LIF and the City of San Francisco. MNC thanks you. We are pleased and honored to have you with us today, Mayor Breed. The bold leadership you exhibited from the earliest days of the pandemic to our current reopening and economic recovery is a source of pride to every San Francisco resident and a model to other leaders. We appreciate your focus on expanding affordable, high-quality education and childcare opportunities. Your Women and Families First initiative and investment in MNC and other child-serving sites sends a message of strong support to our youth and families. Growing early care and education will grow the economy. You've said women, particularly women with children, have experienced higher rates of unemployment throughout and even before COVID-19. Women were paid less than men doing similar work. We have an opportunity to make San Francisco more equitable and supportive for women and their children. We're working to make sure that women have employment opportunities that can get them on the path to a fulfilling career, and if more families can access high-quality, affordable child care so their kids are taken care of and parents can return to work, end of quote. COVID-19 disproportionately affected our communities of color. Families we serve from cradle to rocking chair, facing food and housing hardships, are still confronting economic challenges and have lost far too many lives and yet remain the backbone of our economy. Madam Mayor, your leadership allows programs across San Francisco to recruit, hire, and retain qualified early care educators, of which today there is a significant shortage. The funding provided for this MNC Mission site expands enrollment for infants and toddlers, the age groups with the highest need for care. Your Families First agenda supports children and gets families back to work. Madam Mayor, we recognize your leadership during this oddest of years. Your support for Black Lives Matters, changing the nature of policing, protecting our AAPI neighbors, funding Latino Task Force, assisting the homeless, and focus on economic recovery is also vital. We will soon be inviting you to cut ribbons at MNC early care sites on Valencia and in the Bayview District. MNC has pledged to continue delivering and doing our part in acting quickly on your goals. It is my great honor to introduce our Mayor, London Breed.
Hello, everyone. It's so good to be here again at La Phoenix. We were just next door in the same courtyard, opening up this great facility, this great housing for families. And this is really my dream for San Francisco. When you think about families and when you think about making sure that families have opportunities for a good education for their children, a place where they can feel safe, I can't think of a better place than right where you live. Being able, and Sam is like, this is my dream too. I know you're retired, Sam, but You know, every time I'm out, they try to pull me back. You know you're going to get pulled back, but Richard is doing a fine job, and we're so grateful to have him and the folks at Mission Neighborhood Centers who continue to help provide childcare opportunities all over the communities that we know need it the most. I remember kind of vaguely when I was in school, in preschool, my grandmother, who I talk about a lot, who raised me, she worked as a maid in San Francisco. She worked at hotels. She worked for individuals. And I remember Mama Faye, who used to come pick us up and walk us around the corner, up the street to the child care center that we attended. And my grandmother would not just leave us with anybody. So the fact that she had a place for us to go when she went to work was a big deal. Because as a preschooler, you can't always communicate exactly what is going on when you're not around your parents. We understand the need and the value for having quality preschool in San Francisco. We understand the need to make significant investments in being able to hire teachers and educators and support here at locations like this. And we also understand the need for it to feel like a family, because our children are our most precious, precious commodity. The fact is, we have a lot of work to do to get to a better place, and what's important is money should never be a barrier to good childcare. And so I really want to thank, and he's not here and no longer on the Board of Supervisors, former President of the Board of Supervisors, Norman Yee, for his work and advocacy in helping to make sure that there are financial resources to support childcare for all in San Francisco. I want to thank Ingrid Mosqueda, who is running our Office of Early Childhood Education. She has this very unique connection between communities and childcare systems where we are able to bridge that gap when needed for the teachers and for the equipment and the cleaning and the number of other things that go into this. I remember when we were in the Bayview Hunters Point community, and I took a tour. This was West Point, where Hunters View has been completely remodeled, where there have been one-for-one replacement for the old projects that were there, and additional housing is being built in the neighborhood. And there's this childcare that could accommodate, I think, somewhere around 130 to 150 kids. There weren't even 50 kids at this location. And I asked why wasn't this place packed, because we knew that there was this long waiting list that the city had, and there was no reason why every spot shouldn't have been filled. And it had a lot to do with funding. And so when I think about, partners like Lyft, when I think about the resources that we have now to not only help our low-income families and clear that wait list, but more importantly, some of our families that are just above the qualifications and can't afford childcare, I get excited about the future and the future of children in San Francisco. And we wouldn't be able to do this with money alone. We need partners like Mission Neighborhood Centers. We need their work, their advocacy, and everything that they bring to the table to make these places feel like home. So I am loving these pictures on the wall. I'm loving seeing all of you here today, and this young man who said, look, I'm ready to play. This is what San Francisco is all about, and I look forward to making sure that we are making more spaces like this available for children in San Francisco so that we can finally get to a place where it is not even a question of if someone can afford to send their child to childcare, but it's a matter of what is the childcare that's closest to my neighborhood so that I can walk my kid to school every day. That's where we want to get to as a city. So I'm really excited to be here today to cut this ribbon. I know that these kids are anxious to play, so it's time for us grown-ups to get out of their way. So without further ado, let's do this. Good to see you too. Good to see you without a mask.
I could be more official, like you said. I think there are a few people supposed to join us here for the ribbon cutting.
This is what I do. I cut ribbons and I do things.
We're ready whenever you are.
Are we ready? Yeah. Okay. Let's do a countdown.